Coalition for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, CALSER, has saluted the Nigerian Army Super Camp strategy as the perfect morale booster in the final push to victory against Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists. CALSER gave this commendation after deploying a team of researchers to transverse the length and breadth of the Northeast. Speaking at a press conference on Monday in Abuja, convener Princess Ajibola said this strategy has recorded massive dividends, especially with the Army's top shots led by Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai. Always at the trench, CALSER showered praises on Lieutenant General Buratai, who has made it a mandatory exercise to consistently pay routine visits to the theater of operation to boost the morale of the troops. The Coalition for African Liberation and Socio-Economic Rights, however, frowned at selfish individuals against the super camps whose mission is to undermine the giant stride recorded.
We consequently wish to state that the super camp strategy of the Nigerian Army has indeed provided that needed boost in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria. This is cognizant of the fact that in the periods that the Coalition for African Liberation and Socio-African Rights deployed its teams of researchers to the fields, it noticed the presence of some top brass of the Nigerian Army in the trenches with the troops. The CALSER appreciates the efforts of the Chief of Army Staff and the entire members of the Nigerian Army in the war against terrorism. It wishes to state that if this tempo is sustained, we might as well, and please note, we might as well be seeing the end of the Boko Haram ISWAP terrorist group in Nigeria. In light of the above, we call on all the African continent and their leaders, African countries and their leaders, to rise against the Boko Haram ISWAP ideology by ensuring that those channels with which the Boko Haram ISWAP spreads its ideology are identified and curtailed in the overall interest of the African continent. It must be noted that it is indeed a statement of the fact that all hands must be on deck in pursuit of the defeat of the remnants of Boko Haram ISWAP in Nigeria and especially in Northeast region. The Nigerian military must not also tolerate any act of sabotage from any quarters in the fight against terrorism in Nigeria, as multiple evidences suggests that some vested interest in Northeast Nigeria that have been benefiting from the Boko Haram ISWAP terrorist groups and their activities are hell-bent on seeing to the continuation of hostilities so they can continue to smile to the bank at the detriment of the generality of the people of not only Nigeria but especially the people of Northeast Nigeria. This tide, the Nigerian military, must stem if it is desirous of seeing to the end of nefarious activities of the Boko Haram ISWAP group. The CALSER wishes to state in unequivocal terms that should the Nigerian military treat such unwholesome practices with kid gloves, the activities of the Boko Haram ISWAP terrorist group would fester.